Social and political movements. Introduction. Political parties compete for political power. They win elections and try to resolve the problems of the common men. Political parties generally adopt a comprehensive perspective. Political parties are expected to have a program for the problems of all sections of the society. Political parties adopt policies taking into consideration the interests of all farmers, laborers, businessmen, women, youth, and senior citizens. What is a movement? A movement is a collective action. People's active participation is expected in the movement. A movement can be formed when people come together in the interest of a particular issue. For example, pollution can be a single issue for which a movement can be created. A movement has a particular social objective or a focused problem. For example, movement against corruption aims at ending corruption. Movements have a leadership. Leadership keeps the movement active. Objectives of the movement, program of action, strategy of agitation are decided by its leaders. A strong leadership makes movement effective. Movements have organizations. Without an organization, it becomes difficult to follow up the issues. For example, farmers' organization works for farmers' movement. Any movement requires public support. People should feel connected to the issue that is undertaken by the movement. Movements have a program of action which help them to shape public opinion. Important movement in India. Tribal movement. 1. The British government deprived tribal people of their right to livelihood on forest resources. 2. There was a tribal uprising in Kollam from Chota Nagpur, Gond from Orissa, Koli, Bhilla and Ramoshi from Maharashtra, Santhal and Munda from Bihar. 3. One major problem faced by the tribes in India is that they are denied right over forests. 4. The main demands of the tribal movement is to accept their right over forests. 5. They should be allowed to collect forest products and cultivate forest land. Farmers' movement in India. The nature of farmers' movement in India is an important movement. 1. Initially, farmers started getting organized due to anti-agriculture policies of the British colonial government. 2. There was a farmers' movement in Bardoli, Champaranya and movement against revenue collection. 3. The farmers' movements were inspired by the thoughts of Mahatma Phule, Justice Ranade and Mahatma Gandhi. 4. Reforms in agriculture such as tenancy laws, laws relating to tilting of the land slowed down the movement. 5. Farmers' movement became more effective and active after the Green Revolution. 6. Green Revolution aimed at increasing agricultural production and achieving self-sufficiency in food grains did not benefit the poor farmers. 7. The dissatisfaction among the poor farmers led to the beginning of farmers' movement. Women movement. 1. The women movement aimed at eliminating injustice against women and ending their exploitation. 2. The women movement also aimed at ending the exploitation of women and help them lead a respectful life and participate actively in social life. 3. Ishwara Chandra Vidyasagar, Raja Ram Mohan Roy, Mahatma Jyotirao Phule, Savitribai Phule, Maharishi Dondo, Keshav Karve and others took initiative in ending the practice of sati and child marriage. 4. Reforms such as widow remarriage, women education, and right to vote to women were possible due to the work of reformists. 5. Women participated to a great extent in the movements against corruption, caste discrimination, and religious extremism. They also started various movements like women health, social security, financial independence and empowerment. Environment movement. 1. Environmental degradation is a serious problem at national and international level. 2. At the international level, several movements are working to stop the deterioration of the environment. 3. In India, environment movements are taking up issues like protection of biodiversity, protecting different sources of water, protection of forests, green belt, pollution of rivers, use of chemicals and their ill effects. Consumer movement. 1. Consumer movement emerged in India after the Consumer Protection Act came into existence in 1986. 2. The consumer movement believes that each member of the society is a consumer. 3. Due to the changing nature of social and economic system, consumers face different problems. 4. Adulteration, increased cost of items, frauds in weight and measures are some of the problems. 5. The consumer movement works to protect consumers from frauds.